Hey everybody, it's Kelly. It's not Friday night, it's Friday afternoon. So let me just get this a little adjusted for you. Okay, sorry guys. Anyway, so happy Friday afternoon. I know I am a couple hours earlier than I typically am when I do these lives, and today that is because I am doing the Victoria Marie crop this weekend. And she does it on her Mighty Networks channel. You can get information probably on her Facebook group, but also on her website, which I believe is victoriamarie.com. Anyway, so she is doing like an introductory live crop at 6 p.m. Central Time tonight, which means they usually go for a couple hours, which means I would not be able to do my live tonight the way I normally would. So I'm going to do a live with you now, and hopefully if you miss it, you can just catch up with it a little bit later. I'm going to start with these two photos of my youngest grandson. These are from last year, and I'll tell you how I found these from last year since I thought I was done. And they're him obviously holding a bottle. And this was one of those times where he actually was holding his own bottle. He didn't like to do that so much. So I'm obviously working with some blues and some grays here. And the reason I'm doing that is Victoria has she has challenges going for Saturday and Sunday, but this is one of the bonus ones for our crop this weekend. And that is, it's kind of got a Halloween Harry Potter theme, but if you don't do either of those, you can still do it and kind of, work out your own things to do. One of the the first challenge is to represent your house, which is your Harry Potter house. And I have been sorted. I was sorted at Pottermore, which is a website probably a couple years ago. And I am a Ravenclaw, which depending on what you look at is blues, silvers, grays, even like a beiges. So I'm using blues and grays is what I'm going to do. And he's wearing like a gray shirt, little gray sweatshirt. So that's what I'm doing here. And I think I'm going to position these like that. So let's get started here. So I want to get these photos done. I have, I'm trying to think if I have any more to do or if this is it. I think actually that this is it, that now I did two other layouts this afternoon, a little bit earlier, and now my 2019s for my grandkids should officially be done, even though I thought they were already. So I was thinking at one point about kind of popping this up on a different color or something like that, or framing it out. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to just mount it on this and see what happens. A lot of times I'll put the squares here. In this particular case, I think I'm going to do it here. So last week I didn't get to do a live, and the reason that is I actually was at a scrapbook retreat with some good close friends. I do a retreat. I'm just checking. This is a color book cardstock. I'm just going to make sure this is 12 by 12, and I think it is, but before I actually use it. Okay, just needed a little bit cut off. Anyway, I do a retreat with these ladies twice a year, and we were really very responsible, very socially distant. The room I was in, there were only two of us. The other person in that room is a very close friend of mine, and we both had been really good before we went to the retreat. I brought my own food. The house that we were in holds 24, 24, and there were only 12 of us. So that was another, big thing where we were being super responsible. And our bedroom, there were only two of us. We had our own bathroom. We had very large tables. We sit in groups of 6 normally, but because there were only 10 of us in a house that holds 24, we were able to sit, like I put a whole big 6-foot table in between the two of us, so we had like, I don't know, 9 feet between us at least. So that was good. I actually felt pretty comfortable. I had masks in case I wanted to get closer to anybody to talk to them, but it was fine. There were so few of us we could yell at each other. So anyway, scrapbooking in the coronavirus world. Scrapbook retreat in the coronavirus world, I guess. Okay, so I'm thinking, I do want to see the hearts on this page. Not quite sure how much of those hearts, though. And like how, like, do I want to do this? So that, I think that's what I want to do with this is, and we definitely don't want to see that side. I'm not a big cardstock user, especially cardstock like this. So what I think I'll do is give myself a border here, but not a huge border. I'm going to trim about, well, I'm going to trim 3/4 of an inch off of it. And which is, that's one of my favorite measurements to use, that or 11. Either of those. Hey, Michelle. I'm running a little early today, I was saying, because I'm taking part in the Victoria Marie crop, and we've got a live later on. By the way, you guys, speaking of my retreat last weekend, if you did not see it, I did a live on Sunday with the 68 layouts I made, I think, and talked a little bit about my process. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to go check that out. And then I walk you through all the layouts that I did. More just kind of showing you them. Okay, so liking this so far. I actually kind of like the two grays together, maybe even without this other blue behind it. Now I could also do something like this, so that we have that. Let's try that and see how that looks. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And I can always, it's like sometimes I like it justified to this side. So sometimes when I do this, like on this kind of a piece, I will bring this all the way across. Sometimes I bring it up to the border, kind of like what I just did here. Okay, so I definitely don't like it ending there. It's a little bit too close. I'm honestly thinking, you guys, that it's a better layout. Yes, I am doing that. So I didn't do last month either, Michelle. So Michelle we were just talking about the Victoria Marie retreat. I was not able to do September, and I know you can go back and do them, but I enjoy the live camaraderie. Okay, I really think this is a stronger layout without this other blue in, and I basically have that blue represented because this is, you know, my beloved Doodlebug. This one was the Blue Jean Swiss dot, and I think this is Blue Jean as well. Yeah, Blue Jean dot stripe. So, and then this is the new Bella Boulevard Besties. So it's a heart on one side and an ombre on the other. Little hard to tell because I cut it off, but you can kind of see the ombre here. So anyway, but yes, so Victoria Marie this weekend. So lots of scrapbooking. I was thinking, boy, if I keep up at this, and I do have one more retreat with that same group of ladies to do yet this year. We had to cancel a retreat in April, and so we've got another one coming up yet this year, although our numbers are crazy. They were this past weekend though too, but we were in a county that you were limited to only 10 people inside who were not related, and it worked out that our numbers landed there anyway. But so hopefully we'll be able to do the other one, but we'll see. Okay. There we go. I was talking to one of my clients today. Yeah, so I think it depends on how you look at it, Michelle, If you look at like total like cases, like today we had 3,000 new cases, or almost 3,000 new cases. Yesterday it was over 3,000, which we've never hit that kind of a number yet. Today it was just under 3,000. If you look at it that way, we don't, because I think California is ahead, but I believe our percentages are the worst. And the county that I live in, it has the second worst percentages of the entire state right now, which is just disgusting. I have 3 ICU nurses who are clients of mine, and I saw one of them earlier this week, and I saw one today, and we were talking. Their ICU is just a couple beds from being full. Their COVID unit, which is more of a step-down unit, is full. They just opened, we have a state fair in Milwaukee, and they had in March or April, they finished a, like they took a big building and they put hospital rooms into it in case we had a surge, and basically they never used it. Well, on Monday it's opening up. They're actually transferring people. You guys know Green Bay because of the Green Bay Packers. That area is so bad right now that they're having to transfer people out of the hospitals up there. So that is the worst area right now. Milwaukee, which is obviously a city that a lot of people have heard of, is not that bad. They've kind of got things under control. Okay, so I'm looking at things, but anyway, it's awful here right now. So what can we say? If people would put a darn mask on, I think we'd be better off and stop. There are a lot of people that are just kind of ignoring rules and having parties and stuff like that, and that's not working so well for us. So anyway, not something you want to be famous for at the moment. So I'm just kind of looking at other things. This is a little card, and this is from an old collection. I think that's funny that I'm the only person you know here, but hey, cool, huh? I am being really careful, especially with what I do. I don't want to hurt clients, right? So I don't want to use this whole card because I think the colors aren't quite right, although now that I look at it, I'm not sure that I like this because it's the wrong blue. But there's a navy there too. And then there's a brown. So what I'm going to do is just fussy cut it first and see what I can do. So when you fussy cut, if you've not heard this before, you turn the paper, you move the paper, you don't move the scissors. And the other thing that I find that helps is if you tuck your elbow right to your side and don't move it, you get a better cut. So that's how you do this. So yeah, my mom is not coming home for Christmas now, by the way, because of this craziness here. And we already knew she wasn't coming for Thanksgiving because she doesn't usually do that. But the more I think about it, the sadder I am. I miss her. By the time I see her, it's probably going to be almost a year before I see her. And that's really sad. But I'm not the only person, obviously, in that situation. Okay. So how am I going to do this? I think ink, right? I actually don't mind that so much. I had not intended to add the yellow in there, and because I did that, I'm probably going to have to add a gold or a yellow somewhere else. So, but I think we need some ink here. So it's gray, so here comes the Memento Dewdrop. Just have to find it here. There we go. So, oops, it would help if I put the pad on. And I will probably put this up on some foam tape. So there we go. And then maybe like a little blue. So this has a lot of firsts on that. I'm just going to use that for a little bit of journaling. I'm not worried about all the firsts there. And I'm looking like adding navy in. I know there's that cute turtle. He has nothing to do with anything, but he is very cute. So maybe we'll put him on. And I guess I should probably ink the edges of those too, right? Before I get all excited about doing this. And gosh knows, guys, aren't you glad I'm back? Because here I am, not inking the papers until after I have them down, just in case you missed me. So, crazy, crazy, crazy. My sister's birthday was in September. My brother-in-law's birthday is next week. And we don't do presents for each other anymore, but we have experiences. And we like to take each other to maybe restaurants or places or wineries where we haven't been before. Well, obviously, that's kind of a problem right now. And so what we're going to do tomorrow is there's a brewery that we've not tried. My brother-in-law really likes beer, and they have a really big outdoor seating area. So I think that's what we're gonna do. They have a barbecue restaurant attached to it, so we'll get some barbecue and go sit outside. And if we're not comfortable when we're like looking at how many people there are there, we'll probably just, you know, obviously we'll be masked when we're inside getting stuff, but we'll probably just get the barbecue and go take it somewhere else. We've already talked about how do we do this. My brother-in-law is a chef, but he works at an assisted living place. My sister is a nurse. She's not a frontline nurse, but her responsibility during this whole thing was training the nurses who were going to the front lines. So she spent a lot of time on COVID units. So we're all pretty hyper aware of what's going on and are trying to be as responsible as we can, but still live somewhat of a life. None of us are immune compromised, but we all have people in our lives, our work lives for sure, that we want to keep safe. So that's my big plan for part of tomorrow. First, we're going to go running, and then we'll do that, and then Victoria Marie crop. So I won't be cropping all day tomorrow, but a good portion of it. So we'll get outside, and we haven't seen each other in a couple weeks. So they are, I have 10 people I see. My sister calls them our COVID pods, and they are 2 of my 10. Obviously, grandkids included in that, although I guess I count my grandkids as 1, which probably isn't fair, but they weren't going out or anything. They actually are now, because 2 of them are in school, but pretty protected. Anyway, so now I'm just going to get these edges down. Now that I have that all... oops. And I do tend to put my edges down, and because I know that I'm not going to slip anything under some of those, that's why I did that. And I almost lost those. Okay, so I could do it this way, but I actually think I like it better that way. So going back, I did grab, this is the Echo Park Hello Baby collection, which was from last year when he was born. I bought it for his book, and I know there's navy in here, so I thought I might try to bring in some navy. I have this frame that I cut apart at one point just because there's, you know, navy. I think I saw this. I was scrapbooking another photo of him a little bit earlier. That is M number 4, for those of you who keep track. Okay. So I kind of like the idea of the frame a little bit separated and doing that. So we get that. So I'll want to put stuff up there. And I did pull these jewels because there's some blue in here. Again, just kind of getting that Slytherin, a little bit of that Slytherin in there. Or Slytherin. Ravenclaw. I was listening to something about Slytherin earlier, so that's where I got that. I have read one of the Harry Potter books, but I have not read any more than that. It's on my reading list, but other stuff keeps getting in my way, in a good way. And I've been on a reading tear lately. Well, that's cute. I did say I need to bring in some gold or something into this, right? So we could do that to kind of bring in some of this gold. I like that. Feels like something else needs to happen up here, but I could make that happen with something there. And I did want to do something about his bottle, like a title. I'm umming a lot. My goodness. There is another bottle here, but that brings in orange then. I don't want to do that. I did also grab, I know this Vicky Booten, this is her hashtag sticker book, and I bought all my hashtag sticker books, I think, at Tuesday morning. And so that has some navy in it. I'm thinking maybe we get our little turtle in here. Okay, let's get this glued down, but this needs to, right now I have this sitting even with that, and we definitely don't want to do that. I don't like it when lines sit exactly even. So I'm just going to drop this just a little bit below that line of that heart paper. Oh, my ATG keeps picking up on the scraps I have sitting over here, just because it's being sassy. Okay. Actually, I'm going to throw those, they're really tiny scraps. I save most of my scraps for my sister-in-law because she's an elementary school teacher and her kids do journals. I've talked about this before, and they call it the good paper for embellishing their journals and other projects. So I never feel bad about having scraps because I know that the kids are getting them. And I do go into my scrap basket, but probably not as much as I would if I didn't know that that was going on. Okay, so then we'll put this down, I think, because that's the big element that I want to get on here is this bottle. I never thought I was a theme scrapper, but you know what? I am. Not that there's anything bad with that. It's just I didn't think I was, and then all of a sudden I realized, well, here's a bottle photos, and I'm using a bottle embellishment. Okay. And then here's our little turtle guy. Let's get this on there too right away, because that'll help me maybe get. I don't like that when the ATG does that, where it gets wrapped around the little piece that the glue comes off on, and then you waste glue like it's doing right now. And that happens, I think, because something's traveling, if you guys are having that problem. So I'm just going to pull this out a little bit here. Yay, this is exciting watching. Hi, Harmony. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get that on there. Okay. Tuck that under there. Yeah, that's good. I just wanted to make sure that with my little turtle guy that he wasn't in the same spot. And I'm going to take him off because I'm still not sure that he is the right piece for there. Probably should have inked the edges of this. Let me see how it looks on this one. Yeah, you definitely can tell there's a shadow there. It takes off the white of the paper, so I'll have to take that back off because gosh knows, wouldn't be a layout if we didn't have to take stuff back off of it to ink. Okay, so again, I'm looking at lines here, like I don't want that even with the corner of that, so I'm going to move it over slightly. And that baby, I'm thinking I'll put up on foam tape. I'm going to pop that up there just until I can. I don't want it to stick too much there. And this, I don't have to do all of it, but yeah, that it's much better. It looks more like everything else because there's a shadow now. There was not a shadow before, and you could definitely tell. pop that back in there. You know, maybe something over here. I do have another word, but it says snuggles, and he's not snuggling here, so I don't think that's the right one, but we'll see what we can find. Maybe I'll pop this up now as I'm starting to look through my Vicki Boutin book here. I also have my Dear Lizzie sticker book too, hashtag sticker book, because I know there's blue there, but a lot of her blue also comes with like a gold foil, or not a gold foil, like a copper foil. So I don't think that's the right thing. Okay, so we have that one. Okay, so these are not exactly the same yellow. It would be nice. And everything I have, yeah, I need more gold of some kind in here, or yellow. Kind of like the star, but it doesn't look right over there, I don't think. All right, let's look here, see what I can come up with. I think this or that, if I can get that. I also could put something in here, thinking title up here. I think I said that. That's pretty close. So we could do, instead of journaling here, I could pop that under there. Maybe that baby's gonna end up coming off up there. And put this little banner here. Just want to tuck it under a little bit so I have room to journal. Okay, I like that. And now I'm going to take this off because, carefully though, I don't want to rip anything. Because I don't have this color, I think it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So let's look for some more of that gold and see what we can find in this book. I just realized I want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing there. I did, oh, I know why I grabbed the Dear Lizzie sticker book too. There was like a little thing that said to do, I think, in here. Now there's hearts here. That goes back closer to that color. I still need some of that other yellow up here though. So maybe that baby will come back. We'll see. We've got this today, so I could put that up there. Here's the to-do that I was thinking about. But I think if I do this, it'll get lost. I was thinking maybe here. Might get lost right here though. Actually, I think it looks okay. Let's see, I have a couple banners, but the banners go they go kind of the wrong way for that. I did see a little label. Oh, we have stars, so that would be good. There's a couple stars there. I would cut the gold off here. So I think not, maybe not quite yet. We're getting closer though. I noticed I went to the now. The question is, and I forgot, before I get any farther, I better look at dates. Okay. Would somebody look, since I can't do it, and tell me what day of the week the 20th of October was last year? If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. But I could use one of these up in here if it's Wednesday. Which, what is the chance of that going to be? There's this, though, too. So this is kind of a nice little bannery piece, kind of like that. I mean, I've had these books for forever, and I still have tons of pieces to use. Okay, I think we've gone. It was a Sunday. Thank you. Okay, so Sunday here's red. I don't think I'm going to be able to use that because I don't think that Sunday was the right color. Thank you, Cynthia. It's awesome having you guys as my, yeah, Sunday's red, unfortunately. So, okay, I think this is the piece then that I'll use. But thank you very much for looking. If I could put red on this, I would use it. Okay, so now we need something else up there, but that something else could still be the, like a little, one of those jewels or something like that. Let's go in here. My little guy down here is looking more and more likely. And I'm thinking those stars, we have these stars. So I think maybe scattering these stars around will help with the gold. And now I'm thinking if I could find a phrase in that. I have it today, so maybe we'll put this phrase down here to get some of this gold here. So now, so I was representing my house and then it all, you know, my Harry Potter house. And then as things happen, as you're doing things, then it went all haywire. Okay. Just getting that a little bit straighter. I am really liking the mix of the blue, the lighter blue, the navies, and the golden gray though. All right, now, because what I could do, journal here, date here, and I do have some blue. This guy I think is definitely going to go down here now. So let's use, if I can, I'll peel this off of this baby sticker. And I think I just need to get about a little bit of his body and his head here. And then what I do with these ends, I think I've talked about this. This is as a dish that was on my grandmother's dresser. And I just pop little odds and ends and that kind of thing in there. Things that, you know, that fall out as you're putting stuff away and you don't realize it. So that I try to use it. And then I always have little bits of foam tape on there. And apparently my hair too in this. All right, so yeah, I like how that looks just a little bit, and it's nice with that little bit of navy in there. I'm gonna actually, this looks like it's going to come up, so let's do that. And I think once I scatter the stars, that'll be good. And then I'm also thinking I have two blue, let's see, I need my pokey tool. That was, I don't know if you guys remember Nancy Sinclair, but she was, who's Kitty Scrapper. But I haven't seen her post a layout in ages. I used to love to watch her. But she always called it her pokey tool. So if you hear people say that, you know they've been around a while. Okay, then this one needs to come down maybe on the edge of this. Look at that, guys, using a brad. I actually like Simple Stories faux brads a lot better. That pokey thing, that's cute. I like the Simple Stories faux brads because then you don't have to be doing what I'm doing, which is punching. And actually, I didn't do that very smartly because my fingers were on the back side when I did that. a little bit of sparkle in each of the places. I do have a third one, which is clear, that I could do. Let me see what I think. I'll take it out and we'll see. Maybe I could put it up here. I think something like holding his bottle or something like that, with bottle being big. It would hurt to go give a massage with the hole-in-one. I have cut myself and then had to give a massage. It's not fun. Yeah, I actually think I like that one there. So let's do this properly. And I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. Yes, then I have to use finger cots, which look like, sorry guys, mini condoms in all seriousness. And they protect your fingers. They're kind of like the old rubber finger, but flexible. But really, they do look like a condom, but small. Those are not fun to work with, I have to tell you. So I tried not to cut myself and do things like that to my hands. Okay. Hey, look at that. Whoever said you cannot use rhinestones on a boy layout? I'm also not above using flowers, as you well know, on boy layouts. And I don't know where my tap went to, my pokey thing, tool, whatever. I'll have to look for it. Okay, so we have that. Now we need to do, actually, I should probably do my title first, so that I know where to scatter those stars, and I could do enamel dots as well too, if I wanted to. I did something really good the other day. I actually think I threw out 5 packs of, here's my top, 5 packs of thickers that I had so few letters, thanks Harmony, that I had so few letters left I really couldn't do anything with them. And I kept saying, why am I keeping those around? So I'm just going to grab a couple fonts that I think will work. And there's a big one I'm looking for. But it actually, I'm not going to tell you that my thickers aren't like coming out of the basket that they're in. But it's a little bit easier now. Okay, so this was the font I was thinking of. But I also have these, which are, this is the Pink Fresh Let's Stay Home, and then this is brand new to me. This is Oh What Fun. So they're both that blue, but narrower. This is a little blockier. This might be a little big, and I don't know actually if I'm going to have enough letters to do this with. So I have holding. Now the question is, will I have bottle? B-O. I have 1 T. I can make T's out of the F's though. And have an L. I don't have an E. And his would have to be a really small letter. So I could cut an O into an E or a Q or something like that. That's a pretty easy MacGyver to do. Hey Renee, good to see you. So let's get, I'm going to get this down as much as I can. Oh, I don't know, guys. Maybe I just need to do the word bottle, because that, I don't like how close, let me do this. See how close that is? It feels like there's no breathing room there. So let's try the word bottle, and then I could do holding his in something smaller. And maybe this isn't the right font. Oh, because, whoa, then I would have glitter and yeah, I don't like this font for this. Too bad, the glitter and rhinestones on a boy layout. That would have been epic. Defying the laws of scrapbooking. Not that there are any, I'm being sarcastic. Okay, so let's go to this one because I think it's a little bit chunkier. And I think this will work because I think it's close enough to the lighter stripe here. And we'll just... You can tell I love these fonts. We'll just get it kind of figured out here. Now, one thing I like about these Pink Fresh outfits, first of all, they're kind of a cool, they have a cool feel to them, but there's also a ton of letters on a sheet. So if you have not used them, they're really nice. I didn't have an extra, I had to go to my second sheet, but so I could have MacGyvered it, but I decided I was too lazy to do that. Yes, I do love this. So this one is, like I said, this is the Let's Stay Home font from Pink Fresh Studio. I used it in my pandemic album. I'm not very, let's see. Bottle is going to be a long word too. I'm not being very creative. Yeah, yeah, it is a little bit more appropriate, isn't it? Oh, but sometimes I just like to have fun. Actually, if I do holding his bottle, tap with an exclamation point, it'll be like, oh, look, he's kind of more, he's doing it on his own. And now this boy is like walking and, well, he's not walking anymore, he's running. So I get to have the grandkids next weekend. The 3 oldest are going to stay overnight. Because Grandma usually, when, maybe next year when this guy's 2, I'll have him overnight as well. But right now it feels like that might be a little much. Mama had all 4 of them on her own last weekend, and it was a lot from what I heard. And they're her children, and she's a lot younger than I am. Okay, so I think this needs to come out just a little bit more. Not being very creative as she goes. Well, true, but I just didn't feel like actually making my own, letters, which I do all the time. One of the things, if you missed Victoria's live today, she talked about how it would be good if we were all doing something creative right now, and what a great outlet it is. And boy, I find that to be so true. I have scrapbooked, even if you don't take into account the scrapbooking I did while I was not working for those 8 weeks, I have scrapbooked like a fiend this year. That and reading. Both of those things. It helps take my mind off, you know, how high Wisconsin's numbers are. And all sorts of other lovely things like that. So let's see. This won't take much longer, and I think we'll have this one done. Normally my layouts take about, when I'm scrapbooking and not talking to my internet friends, they take about 35 to 40 minutes for most of my layouts. It's one of the reasons I put the time anytime I do a video, so that you know. Oh, trying to get outside and enjoying fall. I have been enjoying, well, the last couple of days have been gorgeous here, but we had kind of cold, and last weekend it was not nice here. It was kind of nice that the weekend that I had my retreat that it wasn't nice, because then I don't feel so bad, although the retreat place we go to is on a gorgeous trail that I like to run on, but it was rainy and cold here last weekend. Okay. Oh, and I think that title's kind of pulling this together. It's connecting these now. You don't want to forget the dots for my eyes. I know you guys wouldn't let me do that, though. Okay, so there's the dots for the eyes. Yeah, much better. I like the pop of gold in this. I think it really brings, it really does a good job. So when I post this, I'll have to talk to the Victoria Marie channel to talk. It was supposed to be only my house's colors, and then scrapbooking took over. It's kind of like when you use a sketch. And I'm trying to think what I did once where we were supposed to adhere to the sketch completely, and oh my gosh, it was really hard. Like, who does that? Well, I suppose people do that. I'm just bad at it. Okay, so now we'll get some of these little stars in here. And I think I'll do a mix of some touching and some not. I think we were talking about that during one of the last lives. On the 21st, you guys, I'll have a layout up I'm doing a 31 days of spooky scrapbooking. So there's a whole both YouTube and Instagram. So when I do mine will be on both places that day. Some people are doing just one, but that's kind of a fun thing. It's a group of women that I've not worked much with, so that'll be kind of fun to just do something a little different. Okay, really liking the way that looks. That was like the perfect extra little something there. Okay, it feels really flat to me, but it's not. I just think for some reason that wasn't sticking down. I think because maybe it's a lot of paper, because the sticker books are very papery as well too. So, all right. Oh, I knew you were teasing me, Harmony, by the way. It was fine. I enjoy good teasing. Trust me. My dad was the vice president of, well, that's what his last job was, but he worked at counter at an auto parts store, and I worked there during high school and summers during college, and there were a lot of mechanics there, so I learned to take teasing pretty quickly. So, and my dad worked there since he was 18, so I kind of grew up with people teasing me, including my father. All right, so I think this is done. I like the way it looks. I actually like the little bit of sparkle. I think without it, it would have been a little bit, I don't know, boring or something. And I have a blue navy pen, so I'll journal just a little bit in here about the pen. Oh my gosh, this baby belly too, by the way. I scrapbooked pictures of his M number 3, so my granddaughter, over the weekend, and it was crazy how much she had changed in that amount of time. It was just insane. So, all right, you guys, I think I'm done, and I just heard my doorbell go. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. If you guys are doing Victoria Marie's retreat this weekend, I'll see you on some of the lives. That is funny, Harmony. So I will see you on some of the lives if you're with Victoria Marie this weekend. Otherwise, I believe I have, I'll be back next Friday night as well too. And maybe I'll get another one in, so I'll be scrapping a lot this weekend. So take care, everybody. Have a good night.